Schedule 3 drugs, we got, it says they are drugs with a moderate to low potential for physical and psychological dependence. Schedule 3 drug abuse potential is less than Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 drugs, but more than a Schedule 4. Some types of Schedule 3 drugs produce containing less than 90 milligrams of codeine per use per dosage unit, Tylenol with codeine, ketamine, anabolic steroids, and testosterone. Okay, start with codeine. That's an opiate, so why is it not in the same category as the other opiates? Why is it in Schedule 3? It doesn't make sense. I know it's used with cough syrup and things like that, but it should still be with the same opiates. I mean, they all have the same effect. If you take a codeine and you take a hydrocodone, you're going to feel the same exact thing. So if you're going to put it in Schedule 3, you should have it in Schedule 2 with the other ones, or you should move the Schedule 2 down. But really, I think they should all be moved up to 1, in my opinion. Okay, ketamine. I think this one is fair because ketamine's disassociative, so I feel like ketamine should be Schedule 3 because it can be potentially dangerous, I think, like with the fact that it can disassociate you. And it doesn't have a high potential for abuse though, but because of the harmful potential effects for some people's brain chemistry, I think disassociating their brain could potentially lead to bad things happening. But it could also lead to great medical outcomes, and that's why it's being used to treat depression, anxiety, and things like that. But you should probably use it under a doctor's care and make sure that you're safe with what you're doing. Okay, anabolic steroids, testosterone. Basically, I mean, steroids, they raise your testosterone, kind of same thing, really. These ones I feel like should be probably 1 or 2 because they literally destroy your body. They build it up, make you extremely muscular, build all this muscle mass just to basically tear it back down. So your muscle fibers start to break down, and it's literally everyone you see that's done them either has a heart attack or they get angry and start, getting violent and start having outrages and going on rampages and all kinds of stuff. So that one should definitely, I think, maybe be 1. Okay, Schedule 4 drugs, substances, or chemicals are defined as drugs with a low potential for abuse and low risk of dependence. That's crazy to me. Some examples of Schedule 4 drugs are Xanax, Soma, Darvon, Darvocet, Valium, Ativan, Talwin, Ambien, and Tramadol. Okay, start with Xanax. Xanax is one of the most addicting drugs, without a doubt. It literally removes all anxiety. It literally makes you the most confident person in the world. It gives you almost like the superpower, but then it also wipes your memory away. You'll literally go through a day and you could have $10,000 on you, and by the end of the day you'll have lost all of it and you won't know where any of it is. You'll have maybe slept with a random person, don't remember the next day. Someone had to tell you, oh yeah, you went up to the room with this person, and you'll just completely black out and not remember anything that happened. But you'll do all kinds of crazy stuff throughout the day. And because of the withdrawals, getting off of it are potentially deadly, and the psychological aspect of it is extremely, it's like severe. I went through some severe withdrawals on Xanax and Valium and other benzos, and their dependence is extremely high. So really, they should be probably Schedule 2, I would say, because I do think though that they do remove panic attacks, so they do have very great medical benefit in the sense that they will completely remove any anxiety from you if you're having a panic attack. Okay, Soma. Soma is basically works on your GABA B receptors. It kind of works like gabapentin, even though gabapentin is a calcium channel blocker. Soma is more similar to like Phenibut, Phenibut is basically removes anxiety, but is also stimulant at the same time. Soma is a muscle relaxer. That's what it's prescribed for. But Soma does have addictive qualities. But because of the muscle relaxation help, I feel like that should be a Schedule 3 substance if I had to put it somewhere. I feel like it should be right in the middle. That's a fair assessment of it. Darvon and Darvocet, I'm not sure what those are. Ativan is another benzo, so it's the same thing. I would put it Schedule 2. Talwin, I don't know what that is. Ambien, Ambien definitely will help you sleep. It's a very good sleep medication, so the medical benefits are there. But Ambien's very dangerous. It's something you can't mix with a lot of things, and because your breathing is so like depressed basically, and it if you mix it with the wrong thing, like you could just stop breathing, go into cardiac arrest or something. And also it like messes with your vision and does weird things with your vision and things like that. So I mean, I would probably put Ambien in a Schedule 3 if I had to. Schedule 5, here we go, last one. Schedule 5 substances or chemicals are defined as drugs with lower potential. So Schedule 4 is low potential. This is with lower potential for abuse than Schedule 4, and consist of preparations containing limited quantities of certain narcotics. Schedule 5 drugs are generally used for anti-diarrheal, antitussive, and analgesic purposes. Some examples of Schedule 5 drugs are cough preparations with less than 200 milligrams of codeine or per 100 milliliters, Robitussin, Lomotil, Metofen, Lyrica, Pectolin. Okay. 200 milligrams of codeine. That should once again go up with opiates. I don't care how much milligrams it is. It doesn't take a certain amount of milligrams of codeine to necessarily get you addicted to it. Just the feeling that you get off of it is what makes you addicted to it. So that should be way up there. I don't understand how that's a Schedule 5 substance. I don't care what the case is. And okay, we got Robitussin. Robitussin obviously is sold over the counter, so that is like, I don't even understand how that's a scheduled substance. I'm pretty sure Robitussin you can buy anywhere. Like, are they saying Robitussin AC? I don't know what that is. Maybe that's like a different like RC of it. I'm not sure. Lomotil, I don't know what that is. Metofen, don't know what that is. Lyrica, I believe, is a sleep medication. Let me look these ones up real quick. I can kind of tell by the class of what these are. So Lomotil is for diarrhea. I guess that's seems like that should be in class 5. I mean, that makes sense. Metofen. Another anti-diarrhea drug. Makes sense to me. Lyrica is one I think is either sleep or something like anxiety. Okay, so it's an anticonvulsant GABA analog. Okay, let's see. Diabetes, shingles. I want to see what the mechanism is. I think, oh, okay, Lyrica is the same thing as pregabalin. Okay, that makes sense. That's what I knew. I knew I had heard of it. Okay, so pregabalin is very similar to gabapentin. It's just that they basically, what happened was gabapentin, your body is not able to metabolize a certain amount of milligrams of gabapentin. So what happens is you have to spread out your dosage by 30 minutes per dose you're taking. So what these chemists did is they got together and they created something called pregabalin. Pregabalin is basically has a higher metabolism rate. Like you have a higher affinity for your brain, so that like you can break down whatever milligram it is, and you don't have to like separate the dosage. You can take a lot less of a dosage because it's a lot stronger, and it will have similar effects to gabapentin basically. So Schedule 5, I mean, personally, I mean, I wouldn't really schedule it, but I could understand it being Schedule 5. I mean, I really don't see nothing wrong with that. And parapectolin, I've never heard of that either. Parapectolin. Okay, that makes sense for that one being Schedule 5, even though I don't think really that one should be necessarily scheduled either. But one thing I do want to say is I believe that SSRIs should be Schedule 1 drugs. If not Schedule 1, Schedule 2. SNRIs too. Whether it's selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors or selective norepinephrine, reuptake inhibitor. Whatever, either way, both of those should be Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 substances, in my opinion. They have very high addiction potential because the withdrawal effects are unbearable, and it takes about 4 weeks for them to even start working sometimes. So it would take the same amount of time for you to basically withdraw off of the substance. And I mean, breaking it down in like a tenth a week, I mean, that's not going to help you very much. Also, I would say antidepressants as well should be at least Schedule 3. There is lots of suicides related with it. There's black labels on a lot of that, on a lot of those drugs. And I would also put antipsychotics in A. A lot of atypical antipsychotics are very, very dangerous if they're prescribed to the wrong person, and they can literally cause just outrageous side effects and extreme drug dependence, because it will alter your brain chemistry 1000%. So the drugs that are most prescribed and are considered the safest typically are the most harmful. Now, some of the scheduling they got right, in my opinion, but a lot of it's wrong. And if you agree with this video, let me know down below. If you think I'm wrong about everything I'm saying, I respect your opinion. You got a right to feel how you feel. But I've done all of these, the ones that I knew about. The ones that I never heard of, obviously never did those. So I am speaking from personal experience instead of off of what I'm reading or this or that. Also off of the chemistry as well, because I like to read up on how it affects your brain chemistry so that I can see what helps and what doesn't help me. I think that's the best way and the best solution to find out what meds work for you. So if you're looking for a way and you don't feel like you can find any medications that can help, start looking into the mechanism of action and how the drug actually works. Hopefully, though, most of you aren't dependent on drugs and you don't need them, and you can live a normal, happy life without them. Drugs are not good and they cause a lot of harm, but sometimes in certain circumstances people need them and they are required. So obviously consult with a doctor. This is not medical advice. I am not a professional. I am giving just opinions. So take everything with a grain of salt. And I appreciate everyone for watching. I'm starting to lose my voice. I'll see you on the next video, and peace out.